Hello, welcome back to Java programming. In the previous videos we have seen about reading numbers from the keyboard, adding and multiplying all the arithmetic operations and the if construct as well. In this video we are going to see a program to implement the looping construct. So this if else condition construct is used to have some branch in the program, but in the case of looping construct we can do the iterative operations. We can do the same operation again and again with a change in the value if you wish to change the value. So that is the looping construct. Let's see how it is being implemented in the Java language, how it can be implemented in our program through a Java program. So here I am going to create a new class. So this class we are going to give a name for loop. So yeah, we are going to implement a for loop in this program, so that's why I have given this name for loop. And this is a console application. Of course we need the main method here, so the Eclipse will create the main method for us. Finish. Okay, this is a new program. Okay, in the main we can start doing our program. So we are going to use for loop. The syntax of for int I. So I is a variable of integer type, and I am going to give the initial value for I equal to 0, semicolon, I less than 10, semicolon, and I plus plus. So the meaning is we are going to use a variable of integer type, that's why int is given here, I, and the initial value of I is being 0 here, and the final value of I will be less than 10, that will be 9, and I plus plus, each and every operation or each and every iteration of this for loop. So this for loop is an iterative construct. That means this for loop will continuously execute many times, depends upon this condition, the middle value, exit condition, again and again. This for loop will execute continuously until it reaches the value, until it reaches this condition. If suppose we are getting a value of I less than 10, then this loop will continue. If suppose this I exceeds the value of this condition, if it is equal to 10 or more than 10, then it will come out of the loop and it will execute the rest of the code. Otherwise it will keep on executing this same block again and again. Okay, here in this block, if suppose I am giving printf, so the printf is the statement in C language. So if you want to get the output in Java, system dot out dot print is there, and print ln also there, print line. System dot out dot print line, and we can give an argument here what to print. Printing okay, within the quotation I am giving a string print, so it will just print the temp print many times. So depends upon the condition here. This I plus plus means if I is having a value 0 here, later on when it is coming for the next time of iteration, it will increment the value of I by 1. So the value of I will be incremented to that means if the initial value is 0, the second time the value will be 1, and again it is coming back, the value will be 2, 3, 4 and so on. So that is the meaning of I plus plus or increment I. I plus plus, this plus plus is an increment operator. So this increment operator will increment the value of the variable by 1. So if it is given in a loop, so every time of iteration it will keep on incrementing the value. Okay, this program, let us see how it is working. So it is printing print so many times. So let us see how many times it is being printed. It is printed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 times. So how to control it? Now it is being printed 10 times. If you just want to print it for one time, it's printed only once. That means this area of code executed only once. And if you want to print it 2 times, make it 2. Run and see. Yeah, it got printed twice. 2 times we have print here. Again, if you want 5 here, if you give 5 here, we are going to get the print 5 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And similarly, if you want 100 times, you can give 100, but it will be difficult for me to count up to 100. Yeah, so many prints are there. If you can count, please count. So it will be 100, I am sure. So this is the exit condition of the iteration. We can limit the number of times this block of code is being executed. Okay, let me give it 5 and set it. And we can see how the value of I is being incremented here. I am going to give the value of I also to be printed here. So I am changing this string. The value of I is now the value of I is, and after giving a plus I am giving I. So when we give this I without quotation, the value of I is going to be printed, and if you are going to print give some in quotation, the string will be printed as it is. String in the sense some kind of text, it will be printed as it is. If it is not given within the quotation, and if it is declared here in this program, this is of integer type. I is an integer type variable. So if you are declaring a variable, the program in the program and in the computer system, in the RAM, in the memory, it occupies a memory space, and in that memory space it can have some value. Initially the value was 0, but in the program we are incrementing it, and while giving this I value within a loop and it is being printed here in this program, we can see how the values are being changed in the program with the help of this increment operator or I plus plus. Let us see the output of this program. Now the value of I is 0, again 1, 2, 3, 4. So from 0 to 4 there are 5 times it got executed, and every time the value of I is being incremented or changed. So this is an example of a for loop, and we can have some little changes. If you want to declare the variable I outside, it is possible. So then there is no need to declare it again. If you declare it again, then it will let some error. So this is same, it won't make any difference in this program. So I is declared outside for loop, and we can use it before the for loop, and we can use it here. And if you want to declare if you want to initialize the value of I outside also, it is possible, but if you feel it is confusing, don't see this part of code, you can skip it. Okay, anyhow I am going to give this code I equal to 0, here nothing other than semicolon. Let us see. the output, whether we are getting the previous output or not. Yes, we are getting the same output. So that means it is not necessary to give the initial value and the declaration within the for loop. Outside of for we can give, but in the for construct we have to give 3 set of values. So this first part will be the initial values, and this is the increment value, and this is the final. So the next experiment which I am going to do it here is this I plus plus. Can we give it inside? And here I am going to delete this one, but the semicolon is there. So for loop there should be 2 semicolon. It's a must. So I am saving this program and let me run this program. Let us see what we are going to get as the output. More or less same, but there is a difference. That is, previously it was starting with 0 and it was ending with 4, but here in this case it is different. So before printing, the value of I is being incremented. So I am going to move this piece of code here, that incrementing part, towards the end of the body of for loop. Okay, I have saved it. Let us run. Now it is getting 0 to 4, the previous output we are getting. So ultimately what we have find here is for loop takes 3 sets of values. Either you can give the values within the for construct itself, or you can give it appropriately. This is all about for loop. And have you noticed one thing? In most of the statements of Java programming code, we have semicolons at the end, but there is no semicolon at the end of the for loop, and there is no semicolon at the end of the main. So the semicolon will be there at the end of the line, end of the statement, only if it is a complete statement. This for is not completed. There are few more lines of code coming under the for loop, that's why we haven't completed it. Similarly, the main is not completed here. Up to this curly bracket, that means from here to there, this area of code is under this main method, so there is no semicolon. But if you consider the case of I plus plus, this piece of code is finished, so this is a complete state. Similarly, this system.out.println, this is a complete set, so we can have a semicolon at the end of a complete set of statement, then we can use the semicolon. Okay, that's all about the for loop and the details about the for loop. For loop is used for iteration or iterative operations. If you want to do the same kind of operation with same value or different value, you can use for loops. So please try this program by yourself with these changes of for loop or without changes as you like. And if you have any doubts regarding this program, please feel free to write to me. My email ID is it_teacher1@yahoo.com. Thank you for watching this video. Have a nice day. Bye.